Well, I just want to inspire folks with respect to this race being winnable. There's no doubt it's an uphill climb. I use a metaphor. Back in 1991, I hiked the Appalachian Trail. There were a lot of big mountains. Some of them were pretty daunting. One foot in front of the other. I got to the top of every single one of those mountains. So this hill to climb, it's a climbable hill. And let me give you a little fact about it. Back in 2018, when Governor Scott and I were both running for our first re-election bids, uh, in his race for governor and my race for lieutenant governor, I actually got 7,000 more votes than the governor did. So when people feel, well, is it electable or not? Let's start with that. I suspect there's a lot of people that voted for both of us. Otherwise, we wouldn't have both won. And he probably wins a majority of those votes. So let's say he wins by those votes by 7 or 8,000 votes. That means we're going into a general election with 50 to 70,000 more people coming out to vote. Look at this primary, it was great turnout. And I have to win those votes by a little over a majority. So for those of you that are on the fence about whether I can win or not, know that I can win. For those of you that are on the fence about voting for Governor Scott or I want you to think about some of these issues: the climate, the vision for our future, rebuilding our state. Who has more vision when you look at the bills that we've sponsored and worked on over the years? I don't think many people can name a single bill Governor Scott sponsored or led the way on to really profoundly impact in a positive way the future of Vermont. And secondly, there's something else to consider. And I don't say this in any kind of wishful thinking or negative way, but the governor of Vermont will be in a position to appoint any replacement for any of our federal delegation, including our 2 senators, if something happens to them over the next couple of years. We are all very seriously paying attention and often contributing and writing letters to voters in other states to try to take back the majority of the US Senate, to get rid of Mitch McConnell, to allow good appointments to go through that hopefully, if something were to happen to one of our senators in the next couple of years, and we had a 50-50 US Senate, the governor of Vermont could change the majority of the Senate with their appointment. Think about that as you're thinking about whether to vote for Governor Scott or future Governor Zuckerman in terms of who would be making that decision. And so I hope folks who are on the fence will think about that. We should all thank Governor Scott for his work with COVID. It doesn't mean we agree with him on his move to cut teachers in our schools, cut funding for our schools, veto minimum wage increases, veto paid family leave, vetoed medical monitoring, which is an issue about the polluters just to your west with PFOA. Those are not looking forward vetoes. Those are traditional Republican issue vetoes. And he did all that, and he'll do it again next time. So I hope you'll consider voting for me.